Time to get this fourth match from the first round underway. Dominic Barrett it will be to open this one up from England, up against 33-year-old B-Boy Rivera from the Philippines. Tough draw for the 22-year-old. But Barrett has been here before. 2 previous attempts at the World Tenpin Masters in this single-lane format. Managed first round exit, unfortunately for him, in his debut. But quarterfinals last year. Got the feeling this boy could go far in this year's tournament, and that's the sort of start we're looking for.
Always nice to start with a strike, no matter how it's bowled. And flush the 1 and the 3-pin pocket for the right-hander. Pretty much straight down the lane, just some nice back-end reaction there.
Yeah, an interesting lane, this one. It's actually got markings all the way down, so a marking every 5 boards, but there are 4 sets of them, and the players have got just that little bit extra with which to cross-reference the knowledge of the oil pattern that has been laid down on the boards. There's that smooth style of Rivera, straight into the pocket as well. And I don't think it's too early to say, Cass, game on.
Absolutely, Simon, yes. I don't know what part of the fence you're going to sit on this one. Have you got any predictions? I know it's very early, but what do you think?
I think if this is tight, I think Dominic Barrett, having been here 2 years before, mentally that might suit him, but I just don't think Rivera's going to be disturbed by too many things today. So, yes, I'm sitting right on the middle of the fence. Don't know with this one.
So that's a Barrett vote, is it?
Yeah, it could be. Could be. What do you think, Cass?
Yeah, I'm going to go with you on this one, Simon. We'll see how it goes, but a little bit of domestic favourability. Dom looking for a double.
Oof. Well, I was just going to say, if anyone's going to strip the oil off this lane, it's going to be the higher speed and revs of Dominic Barrett, and that might cause problems for Rivera, but Barrett just out of the pocket here.
Yeah, finishing quite hard. Unfortunately, that Tenpin's just standing in the corner. We see quite a lot of those standings as the ball hits the pocket really hard. Jumps the 6-pin around the Tenpin rather than taking it away.
Now comes the orange spare ball, straight as a die, and takes out the 10-pin for the spare. So a little chance here for Rivera to establish some early pressure.
Well, that's right, yeah, we've spoken about stringing strikes together. Well, they've got 1 each, and this is B-Boy's chance to take an early lead if he can string the first double.
Rivera was the Philippine Sports Writers Association Athlete of the Year, and he said that was one of the proudest moments of his career to date. And when you do think about just how popular this sport and several other sports are in the Philippines, it is really quite some achievement. Oh, same pin left, so already just that slight change in condition causing problems for both players.
Well, both the players, especially B-Boy, slightly more than Nobby, is getting a great reaction the back end. Much wider that ball. And you see the angle that ball goes into the pocket. That's the reason the Tenpin is standing up. It's too much angle.
Yeah, around about the 40 feet on that last set of markings on the lane. Really hooking back in.
Yeah, that's where those markings that you were talking about, Simon, they've helped the bowlers pick that back-end reaction area where the ball needs to snap up into the pins at the break point.
Well, nothing to split these two so far. Strike and a spare each. It's classic stuff from Rivera. Very straight on at the delivery line as well. Doesn't get quite as side on as Barrett does.
Yeah, we'll have a look at that. It doesn't actually slide quite so much. He sort of plants that left foot and hardly slides at all. But steady at the line. But, young Don Barrett here. Quite a classic style. Great future ahead of him in the bowling game as young Dominic. And he shoots another strike at game 3.
You could tell he liked that one, and so did the crowd. Barrett then back into the strike zone.
Yeah, here we see Dominic's shot. Rips the rack, carries all 10 pins. Getting a nice back-end reaction after about 40 feet of the lane. That's where the oil ends and the transition comes into the dry part of the lane.
Never in doubt for the 2008 Irish Open winner. Can Can Rivera respond? Just came off that shot. That was a problem for him. Well, he's left 3.
Yeah, just came off the hand a bit too late there, really. Didn't get any fingers or lift or rotation. Just drops away from him, gets away. It's the outside of the lane. He knew straight away it's because it's hooked up in the oil there. That's not going to make it back. Tricky little spare. It's the 2-5 and the 8-pin.
Well, if he takes this out from here, then it's not going to be too disastrous for Rivera. He's done it again. Well, he's got it this time, but that's 2 in a row where he's not been particularly certain there on release.
Yeah, the ball just got away, but he had enough reaction and rotation on the ball in the back end to come in and cover those pins quite nicely. So he's just fallen off the shot. He didn't slide. Maybe he's just having a bit of problem with that slide shoe of his. I'll just have a look next time.
That's how things look then. Dominic Barrett, 580, and he's established an early advantage over B-Boy Rivera.
Welcome back to the Tenpin Masters. Barrett against Rivera. This is the opening game. Commentary comes from Cass Edwards and Simon Golding.
Yeah, great stuff. The double then for Dominic Barrett. And he's coping with conditions very nicely out there on the lane.
Yeah, the first double of the match. And he's looking good. He's well lined up and carrying all 10 pins right in the pocket.
Well, Barrett doing what all good bowlers should do, just trying to keep any of those thoughts of a conclusion out of his head. Got to concentrate on the next shot and the next shot only, and you mustn't even think about what your opponent's doing. Rivera then, oh, he's fallen away again. Well, he's got it this time. He was high through that head pin, Cass, but he's got the carry.
Yeah, just again having trouble with that sliding foot. Just fell off the shot slightly there. He's carried all 10 off a pretty reasonable 1-3 hit, just to keep himself in contention. Both these guys are actually looking to beat the lane at the moment. Dominic looks as though he's got it reasonably conquered. 4 shots all in the pocket.
Bit of sports psychology there from Rivera, just trying a bit of mental rehearsal. Get that flowing feeling back into the arm. Oh, he's high as well, and he gets a bit of luck with the messenger there, does Dominic Barrett. He'll take that. It's a turkey.
I think anybody would take that one. He's ripped the 4-9 split. The ball that's slightly high in the pocket. Made the turkey. See how high that ball is. That's the 4-9 split, and yeah, he's got the messenger. Away they've gone. Acknowledges the fact that that was reasonably lucky.
Still on then for 580. I think Barrett might just have upped the pace there on that last one. Might have to think about that.
This is a big ball for B-Boy. He needs a striker to stay in touch.
Oh, it's got it.
Does. No, it's a good response. He needed that one to make the double, just to stay in there.
Yeah, the big players know when it's a big ball. And Rivera came up with the goods there. That's his maximum that he can get if he strikes off the card from here. Remember, it's total pin fall that wins you the matches here at the World Tenpin Masters. 5, 6, 7 for Rivera.
Simon, you know I like to take it one game at a time. Those sort of scores, obviously, if each player strikes right off the sheet right through the second game.
Hey, we've got to be optimistic. Oh, that was threatening to happen last time for Barrett, and it's happened this time, and left pins. This is just tilting back in Rivera's direction.
Yeah, first shot really out of the pocket for Dominic. Fortunately, he's broken the pins up, just leave himself the 6 and the 10 in the corner. Now this spare ball's going to go gun barrel straight right across the lane. Should be a straightforward spare for him.
Yeah, second time he's had to get the orange ball out. That works well. That's all you can do when you leave yourself a spare. You've just got to make it and move on. But you can see just a little bit of disappointment in Barrett's face there, because he knows that Rivera's working a double.
Again, another big ball for B-Boy here. If he can make the turkey, he's right back level. B-boy looking for 10. Well, slightly light in the pocket. It was a sort of a half pocket shot, but he's carried all 10. He's hit him thin, made him spin. And
Turkey then
counts
for Rivera, and that's exactly what he needed. Well, that little bit of repair work he did mentally, sitting in the chair, really went to town on his mental rehearsal and his action. That seems to have worked because he's been back in the pocket since then, Cass.
Yeah, he certainly needed that last one. He himself realised that it was an important ball.
Barrett then, this is big for him. Great work from Barrett. And we're getting some feedback from Andy Penny on the CAT system to say that Rivera's been on exactly the same broadcast for the last 3 deliveries. Now that's good, as long as the lane condition doesn't change.
Yeah, absolutely. The idea of the game is to keep it consistent on the same line if you can. Obviously, there's going to be a change in the oil pattern with the heat from these TV lights, but the players have to adjust to that as and when they can.
Bit of repair work for Barrett there, just getting a bit of foam together to go into that drilled hole in the ball. And that creates a better grip for the bowlers, just changes the dimensions a little, and this is good from Rivera now. Dominic Barrett's got a bit of pressure.
Yeah, keeping it tight, striking when he needs to. 3 strikes in a row for the man from the Philippines. Just a late reaction there. Just touches the headband but carries them all away. Gets the mix on the pins. So easy to knock over these Brunswick Max bowling pins, but got the reaction he was looking for there.
So Rivera looking a little more comfortable than he did in the first 3 frames. It's tough to make your debut on this single lane format in front of the crowd in Barnsley. You really do feel the focus of attention is right on you. I know Dominic felt that in his first year back in 2006. That is unlucky, a 7 left this time in the corner for Barrett.
Yeah, again, sort of a half pocket shot. The 4-pin jumps right round the 7-pin and just lays dead in the gutter. Again, it will be a single pin spare for Dom to shoot that spare ball out. He'll come right across to the right-hand side of the approach and just shoot straight at this one. Just like that.
Nicely removed, so Barrett having to nail a spare in both corners and doing it very effectively. There's the maximum score that he could get, 5-3-8. But again, as Cass always makes the point, that's if he strikes off the card from here. There's plenty of mileage left in this game. Rivera then bowling superbly now, is locked right into this lane.
Looking for 5 in a row. And makes it.
Got it.
Oh, an absolutely great shot. Lots of rotation in the back end, high revs. There's all 10 pins.
Well, he'll be desperate for nothing to change now, Rivera, at the moment. This is very good indeed.
Yeah, he's getting locked and loaded and has just taken the lead.
And look at that. 5-bagger for B-boy Rivera. And he now has a distinct advantage in this match as we come towards the end of the first game. Over 2 games, remember. And your total pinfall wins you the match. And Barrett needs a big foundation frame here. No. He just seems a little light in that pocket, Cass.
Yeah, unfortunately couldn't carry that 10-pin. Reasonably hard hit on the 1-3 pocket. Plenty of rotation. Gets the snap in the back end, but that 6-pin's gone right round the 10. Although he strung 3 strikes together early in the game, At the moment, he seems to have lost the ability to join them up. It's frame 9. Needs the spare to stay in touch.
Yeah, Barrett's got serious problems. It's moving out to a 40 pin and maybe more advantage if Rivera can get a strike in his foundation frame and turn his run into a 6-bagger. There's that spare ball, straight as you like. Thumping the 10 pin out of play.
Yeah, it's a much harder surface bowling ball. No, doesn't create so much friction between the lane and the ball, and consequently runs very straight.
Going to need a big finish, Dominic Barrett, from here.
Well, he is, because there's no reason why B-Boy's not. He's stringing 5 in a row. This is for a 6-bagger, or 6-pack, as we like to call it.
6-pack it is.
Well, as smooth as you like, 6 in a row, thank you very much. You'll sit down and be very happy with that. It's the foundation frame. He has the opportunity to throw another 3 strikes in the 10th frame for a mighty 260-plus game.
He just didn't panic at all, Rivera, after those first 3 frames when it wasn't quite going his way. And from that point onwards, he really gave himself a talking to, and look at that, he's just struck all the way through.
Well, let's not kid ourselves. He is a world champion. He knows this game. He's been in situations like this before, I'm sure.
Well played, Dominic Barrett. Desperately needed that, and it set himself up for a decent finish to this first game. Damage limitation for him at the moment, Cass.
Absolutely, Simon. Yeah, you're quite right. He does really need to throw another 2 strikes here in the 10th frame. And that will only give him 220. Not a bad score, but it's certainly not going to be the winner in this game, I don't think.
It's the strike ball that you can see Dominic Barrett holding, just drying his hands off. There's a little dryer at the end of that ball machine, and they don't want any moisture on the palm of the hand if possible. Barrett then to double this up. No, and again he's not having any luck at all with that 6-pin, Cass.
Yeah, we've talked about the carry contest before. It's a matter of stringing strikes together, and if you're not carrying those corner pins, it can do you some awful lot of damage to your score. And this is what Dominic's been suffering with at the moment. Looks as though he's going to get another ball out to play the second game with, or make some adjustments there. And yeah, he's going to put some tape in his thumb hole. But 217 is his maximum score if he spares this. And at this level of the game, it's probably not going to be quite high enough.
Definitely worth taking a risk here, Barrett. What he's doing is he's going to use this ball and see what reaction he gets, and on the basis that he's not really going to lose much ground if it doesn't go so well. But if it goes well, then that means this might be the ball we see him using all the time in the second game. Yeah, that's he's happy to give that pin up. He just wanted to see what that ball did.
Simon, you're quite right. Yeah, as you say, he gave that single pin up, cost himself from a 217 down to a 216, but he was checking his strike line with that new ball, and he'll come into game 2, and that's what they'll be firing with.
Well, that's the maximum that Dominic Barrett can get. It's all about what Rivera can do with his last deliveries of this first game.
Yeah, big first ball. It will give him 7 in a row if he can make it, but more importantly, it gives him the opportunity to shoot for 2 more strikes in a 260 game.
Great work, heading towards a potentially massive advantage. 44 pins for Rivera if he can strike off the card from here. And is that a little smile from the man from the Philippines? I think it is, Cass.
He's actually sending out a message to some of the other guys in this tournament saying, hey, you know, you might not have seen me bowl too much in Europe, but this is what I can do. Of course, the feeling is that once he's mastered this lane, there's no reason why he's not going to go on and shoot another 260 and walk away with this match.
Oh, there we go. So it's not quite going to be the advantage that he was looking for. And the smile has gone.
Yeah, he's left a big split, but that's not going to worry him now. He's got the lead. This is a big 250 game. Just the 4 and the 10-pin split. He might just have a shot at this.
Oh, nearly. Great effort from Rivera to make that one, but it's a good first game from here. And as we reach the halfway point, it's Biboy Rivera of the Philippines that leads Dominic Barrett of England. 254 for Rivera. That's good shooting in that first match. Barrett, that's about a par score for him. He's got a lot of work to do in the second game.
Welcome back to the Metrodome in Barnsley for the 2008 PartyCasino.com World 10-Pin Masters. Next up, the man from Manila, Biboy Rivera, up against the current English ranking champion and 2008 Irish Open winner, Dominic Barrett. Barrett has climbed the ranks to become one of the top 8 in Europe and will no doubt want to improve on his World 10-Pin Masters record. But there's no easy games in this competition, and the 2006 Men's Championship gold medalist, who was voted 2006 Philippine Sports Writers Athlete of the Year, may prove a stumbling block for the Englishman. We rejoin the action at the start of the second game with Rivera leading 254 to 216. Back over to our commentary team of Cass Edwards, Simon Golding and special guest Chris Barnes.
Chris, how you doing?
I'm doing great. It's great to be back here. Always love coming to Barnsley, and I'm looking forward to my match tonight.
Now, you sneaked in about 20 minutes ago to watch the start of this match. What do you think of what you've seen so far?
Well, I'm a little surprised, but I'm doing a little research too. Dominic Barrett's look was fantastic at the beginning of the match. As the match has gone on in this 39-foot pattern, there's a lot of oil at the end of that pattern. Dominic's ball is not going through it as well as B-Boy's is. B-Boy's going around it. He seems to be able to knock out, as I say it, the 10-pin better than Dominic so far.
That's good. You're very good at the commentator's curse. You've done this before, haven't you?
I've been the victim of it many times. So,
Well, Rivera with something to think about. He's got to make a spare here. I think there's enough still in what's going on out there for Barrett to be confident that he can do something.
well, plenty. He's hit the pocket so much so far that he's capable of shooting, a big 270 game. Maybe I don't see a lot of 300s on these because of the corner pins, but he's perfectly capable of shooting a 250 or 270, and that might be enough as these lanes transition a little bit.
The voice of PBA star Chris Barnes. He'll be playing in this competition later on, but in the commentary booth with us now to take a look at both of these bowlers. We might get a chance actually later on to compare styles. I'll be interested to hear your views on that, Chris. But what sort of preparation have you guys got to do for this short format competition, because it is unique?
Well, I guess if there's an advantage, I get to bowl a little bit